The second greatest fear, after the fear of death, is the fear of public speaking, the fear of standing before an audience to make a speech. Hi, my name is Derrick Ugwuegbu. I'm a media practitioner, a public speaker, and a public speaking coach. And you're welcome to this masterclass on getting any audience to listen to you and do your bidding. This training is for those who are aspiring to become professional public speakers, for those in advertising, salespeople, marketers, chief executives, the clergy, politicians, and anybody who wants to become a proficient public speaker. So today I'll be talking about two parts. Now, the first part is what you need to do before the day of your presentation, and the second part is what you should do on the day of your presentation. So let's get straight into the lesson proper. Now, the first thing you need to do before the day of your presentation is know the topic you shall be talking about. If you are invited to do a speech or to make a presentation before an audience, ensure that you ask those who are inviting you what topic you shall be talking about, because that will help you to make your preparations and make your research properly. All right. Number two is ensure that it is a topic that you are interested in. Make sure that it's a passionate Make sure it is a topic that you're passionate about, because it is going to determine how energetic your presentation will be. Number three is study and make your research extensively. Ensure that you are thorough when you are making your research so that you will be deep when you are talking to your audience and they wouldn't see you as somebody who is shallow or somebody who knows just a little of what you're talking about. All right. And then number four is make a bullet point, make an outline of what you're going to be talking about. So bullet points actually are preferable because it's going to help you to guide you and coordinate you, get you organized, so that by the time you're talking to your audience, you will be properly guided. All right. Now the next point is number five is be very much sure that you practice. Okay, number five is practice your speech. Now practice before your furniture, your fittings, the walls of your room, your closet, everything around you becomes your audience. Okay, and you can go to the extent of also inviting some of your friends or family members or anybody around you to come and also watch you present. But it's also preferable, I will advise that you get a coach or somebody who is more professional, who is more experienced in the field of speaking, to also come and criticize you when you're making your speech, so that you will be able to come out with a stellar performance. All right. And number six is do a video recording of yourself. Since you're going to be speaking to a live audience and they're going to be watching you, I will advise that you make a recording of yourself. Use your recording device to take note of what you're going to be speaking about. And number seven is watch over, playback what you have recorded, and of course observe your mistakes. Observe yourself for diction, for modulation, for gestures, facial expression, body movements, and everything, so that you will be able to take note and make your corrections. Okay. Number eight is if you are going to be using PowerPoint presentation, make sure that you practice with your slides. Let somebody help you to man your slides while you speak, and ensure that there is consistency between what you're saying and your slides. But I would not advise you to cram or to read your slides word to word. Okay, make sure that you have an idea of what you're going to be talking about and what your slide talks about, so that you can speak from your heart and from your head. All right. And then finally, number nine is prepare your mind. Okay, prepare your mind for the showdown, because you need every confidence for your presentation. So prepare your mind and tell yourself that you are the very best person who can deliver this message, and get on with that. Okay, so run with that frame of mind, because it is going to help you to make a terrific performance. Okay, so that is it about the first stage. Now to the second stage, which is on that very D-Day, what will you be doing and what should you do on the big day, the day of your presentation. On that day, the first thing you need to do is have a pep rally with yourself. Talk to yourself, look yourself in the mirror, and give yourself every level of motivation that you will need. Right? Ingest a sufficient dose of confidence, because you will need that confidence. You will need that very good positive frame of mind for you to make a good performance. So make yourself very much buoyed up before the day before you go to your presentation venue. All right. So number 2 is get to your venue early. If you are invited to make a speech, please, it is important that you get to your venue early enough. You don't want to get to the venue and then a few seconds later you are called upon to make a speech. That wouldn't be good enough. So ensure that you get to your venue early so that you can acclimatize to the environment and to the ambience of your venue, so that by the time you are done, you can also use that time to refresh your mind on what you're going to be talking about, right? And also use that period to scan your audience, know the kind of audience you shall be speaking to. What is their status? What is their age bracket? What kind of things are they interested in? That would also influence your style of delivery and your style of performance. Okay. Now the next thing is, by the time you're called upon to come and make your speech, now there are two things you need to also know. If your audience is boisterous, if your audience is energetic, if it is a youthful audience and then they are cheering you up, they are clapping, they are so much in a frenzy, they are so excited, please, I will advise you right now is, get involved in their exhilaration. All right, join them in that boisterous mood, clap with them and make that noise with them. Let them know that you are also one of them. By the time they see you doing that, come on, they will gladly give you their attention. You have won their heart, because now they see you as one of them. They are no longer seeing you as some stranger or some pro speaker who is just coming to give them information and talk to them and then leave them like that, and then who is just trying to come and make them know something, and then he doesn't want to get involved with us. He doesn't even get concerned about our welfare. But once you do that, you have gotten connected to them, all right? And it's going to help you a lot. But if it is an audience that is more reserved, maybe they have more adults in them, people who are not really that youthful, okay, who are more reserved. So also join them the way they are welcoming you. Okay, so play along with them. By the time they clap, urging you on, when you get to the stage, then that is it. Okay. Now there are two ways of also beginning at this point. By the time the boisterous audience beckons on you and then cheers you to the stage, by the time you get there, you have done all those things with them, you have engaged with them in their exhilaration, then you can also start. All right, so there are two ways you can start. There are other ways you can also start your presentation, but I'm going to be talking about these two just for the sake of this video. Now, number one is one that is more common among some speakers. Okay, now when you mount on the podium, they'll start like this: "Hi," or "Hello, my name is Derrick Ugwuegbu. I am a public speaker, and today I'll be talking to you about XYZ." Okay, and then they go ahead to make the presentation. All right, that is also good, but I see it as something that is routine or commonplace. So I prefer to do something that is more dramatic and unconventional. So I'll open like this, most preferably. I'll start this way. Do you know that you consume 6 leather bags and 10 leather shoes each time you and your family have a meal of cow skin? While your audience is grappling what you have said, you go ahead and introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Derrick Ugwuegbu. I am a public speaker, and today I'll be talking to you about XYZ. Do you understand? Now, do you see the difference between these two? Each of them is good. They are all valid, but I prefer to be more dramatic and more animated, like James Bond. Okay? So, but whichever way you choose to use, whichever opening you choose to use, they are all good. Okay? So go ahead and start making your presentation. Go straight into your topic. Okay, before then, give them an outline of what you're going to be telling them. All right, tell them you're going to be talking about this, and this. Okay, by the time you've made that outline, they have a mental picture of what to expect and they will follow you through. Now, the next point is start your presentation. Go straight into your topic and elaborate on what you have said you're going to be talking about. And then be more intensive, be deep, and explain so much that they will understand what you're saying. Okay, the next point is involve your audience in your presentation. Do not just talk to them and leave them on their own, and then you're here, they just have to stay there. Hey, listen to me when I talk. When I'm done talking, and then I will leave. You can ask your questions if you have. If you don't have, I don't care. That wouldn't be too good. All right, so involve your audience in your presentation. Let them participate as well in your speech. You can also do that by getting them involved in some activities. Okay, so you can just go there and come down from your podium, just get into the audience and ask for 2 people to volunteer for an activity, illustration. So when those 2 people are coming out, cheer them up, right? Encourage the rest of the audience to cheer them up, to encourage them while they are coming out, all right? By the time they get to where you are, you can say to them, all right, you, what kind of business you want to start? If I want to invest 1 million, what would you want me to invest that? Okay, sorry. Okay, this way. If I give you 1 million, what kind of business will you invest in? And then this person will tell you what he or she has in mind. You ask the next person, if I give you 1 million, what kind of business will you invest in? The person will also say his or her mind. Then you ask the audience, now these 2 people, who would you want to invest in their business? And then you will have the audience divided into 2. It's going to cause an uproar. Okay, it's going to cause some sort of excitement, and then people will want to support one candidate and the other candidate. We all have this consciousness and this competition mentality. We always want to support one person over the other person. We all are politicians naturally. Okay, so by the time you have done with that activity, you can also thank these 2 people for volunteering, and then let everybody encourage them and give them a round of applause as they return to their seats. Okay, so now that you have done that, you have reconnected again to your audience, and then they are also back to you. They are hooked to you. The next thing you can also do to get your audience hooked is using dramatic pauses. When you use your pause appropriately, you will get your audience stay hooked to you. For instance, you can do that. If you want to make a critical point, use a pause, and after the critical point, use a pause as well. You can do this, for instance. I am going to tell you 2 things to do. If you do these 2 things religiously, you will never be broke again. Number 1, you go ahead and mention the number 1 point. You pause. And number 2 is, you go ahead and mention the number 2, and then you pause. Now, when you're taking those moments of silence, your audience will be hooked to what you want to say next, because they're anticipating what will come out next. And by so doing, they are hooked. They trip and they fall into your speech, and then you carry them along. A presenter, a speaker should be a performer. You should be dramatic. You should be able to hold your audience's attention. You should be able to direct their emotion however you want them to go. That is what you should do as a speaker. All right, so by the time you're done with that, then go ahead and continue your presentation. All right, now when you're done with that, by the time you finish your points and explain all the points that you have laid out for your audience, do a recap of what you have said so far. All right, do a recap and tell them what you have told them. Okay, so that will help them to refresh their memory, and then more like a summary. When you're done with that, then there should be a call to action. That is how you're going to end your speech. What do you want your audience to do? Do you want them to buy your product or service, or you want them to sign up to your course, or you want them to get involved in whatever cause that you are championing? All right, it is at this point that you're going to make them to know what you want them to do. Okay, and then by the time you do that, then you can also end with this. Now that we have done all these, I want to know if you have been empowered, if you have been motivated enough to engage, to fight against all these sort of level of domestic violence, and because you're angry about it, and if you're angry enough, if you want to join me in this course so that we can end all forms of domestic violence, I want to see your hand up right now to join me on this course. Now you see your audience, most of them will raise their hands to show that they are in solidarity with you. So that is a call to action. It can be also that they want to buy your product, and they will show interest that they are interested to buy your product or your service, right? But that should be a call to action. Now you can end with a quote, a famous quote. You can end with a poetic line. You can also end with a question, rhetorical question. So whichever way you choose to end, just make sure that you end it properly. All right, and go ahead to thank your audience for listening, for paying attention before you exit the stage. Okay, now These are the things you need to do on the day of a presentation. Let me also mention some points as addendum, okay, as appendix. Now, before you make a speech, before you go to speak to an audience, make sure that you have intention. What is your expectation? What do you want your audience to do? Start with the end in mind. What do you want to take home? How do you want your audience to respond? That will also determine how you make your presentation. That will influence your speech. So you wouldn't want to go to your audience and you don't have anything in mind, you don't have any expectation. I mean, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for because you have nothing to expect. So you will get absolutely nothing. So start with your end in mind, have a focus, have a goal for making that speech. And the next thing is be enthusiastic, be passionate about your presentation. Make sure that you are energetic because by the time you do that, it is going to rub off on your audience. If you are not energetic enough, if you are slow, if you are dull, your audience will also take on that same hue. All right, so you wouldn't want that to happen to you. So be energetic. That is why you need to select a topic that you are passionate about. And then the last thing is be very, very much bold and confident. All right, tell yourself that you can do this. All right, take on your confidence and let fear be chased away from your mind and get your mind prepared and positive to do that task. Okay, so that is much I can take on this masterclass. This is the much I can take because of the sake, for the sake of this training. That is the level I can go, so it doesn't get too long, and then so that you can also have some time to watch it over and over again, and then be able to assimilate everything I have said so far. If you want to know more about public speaking, because there's a whole lot more to learn about public speaking. If you want to learn how to open a speech, how to close a speech, numerous ways of doing that, how to engage your audience and make them stay with you, the attention glued to you and never divided from the beginning to the end of your speech, other methods of doing that, you can also learn that. How to improve your memory so that you'll be able to assimilate more, you'll be able to retain so much information that by the time you even step on the stage, you won't even have to look into any of your notes because your memory has contained so much, and then you'll be able to remember everything that you have read, everything that you have studied and you want to speak about. So if you want to learn that as well, and if you want to know how to make the 60-second elevator pitch, okay, 60-second elevator pitch or speech, you also learn it. But all these things you can learn and so much more if you will sign up for my coaching session. Yes, that is where I can have a one-on-one session with you. I will be with you every step of the way, and I will be with you doing live videos with you where you're going to be talking about the things that you have learned, and I'll be sharing ideas with you. I'll be teaching you every single thing that you need to know if you want to become a proficient speaker. Okay? Now, if you want to sign up for this course, if you want to sign up for the coaching session, you're not going to be paying 50,000 naira. You will not be paying 40,000 naira, not even 30,000 naira. But for the sake of being part of this training, you will only be paying 20,000 naira for my coaching session for a whole month. For a whole month, you will only pay 20,000 naira to be part of my coaching session. Now, for the first three persons that will sign up, you will be paying just 15,000 naira for a whole month. For a whole month, you're going to be paying just 15,000 naira for my coaching session in public speaking. If you want to become a proficient public speaker, and if you know that you are very much passionate and it's something that you need, if it is an essential skill that you require for your profession or your career or your occupation, then I will encourage you to sign up to this course. Okay? Now, sign up as soon as possible. For those who also want to do, maybe just want to do a 2-week session, if you want to do a 2-week session with me, a 2-week coaching session would just be for only 10,000 naira. For 10,000 naira alone. But if you sign up, if you're one of the first 3 persons that sign up, you're going to be paying not 10,000 naira, not 10,000 naira, but you're going to be paying just 7,000 naira. So just start signing up as soon as possible so that you'll be able to take up the first 3 spots. Now, this promo, the 20,000 naira, and the 10,000 naira is just for this month of June. After the month of June, the price will return to 50,000 naira for a month and 20,000 naira for 2 weeks. Okay, so just start signing up right now. If you want to pay in right now, if you want to sign up, pay into the account Ugwuegbu, Derrick, Chimuanya, Zenith Bank. The number is 211-554-6314. By the time you're done paying, send me the evidence of your payment to 0703-865-6064 on WhatsApp. All right. I will also post the account number in the description session, and then of course in the WhatsApp group, so that you can also have it, and then you'll be able to sign up. When you sign up, let me know, and I'll be taking you all the step of the way until you become a proficient public speaker. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this training, and I'll see you in the WhatsApp group, where we can have your questions, and I'll respond to your concerns, your questions, and then of course during the coaching session, I will also help you to prepare your speeches. If you have a presentation that you're invited to make, I will help you prepare your speech. I will help you get ready. So all these things and much more, because I'll be giving you materials that will help you to increase and improve your proficiency as a public speaker. So if you know you're into advertising, sales, marketing, if you know you want to get into professional public speaking, if you know you want to get into the politics, everything that requires you speaking to a group of people, public speaking is an essential skill for you. So do sign up right now, and let's get started. Until I see you again, I wish you all the best, and I'll be waiting to hear your questions and your concerns. Thank you for watching. My name is Derrick Ugwuegbu, and on this note, I sign out. Peace.